Check. Check, check. Check, check, check. Revenue audio. Okay, I think I've done this right. Oh no, it's been a long time, so I'm still shaking off the rust. But as you can see, it's a special stream because it's been a long time. We're back from the motherland. So I'm blinged out. We're in almost full Roger cosplay. I did not put on the leg frills or the Jesus Christ, you like the second I went live, I got a bot. Get the fuck out of here. Thanks for the first time chat, but my boy, we're gonna have to get you the fuck up out of here. Block him. All right, we got Chopper. You see Chopper over there. You see Chopper causing trouble already to start the stream. Anyway, how y'all doing? How's it going? It's been a long time. It's been a little too long, honestly, but we are back. My name is Shonen, and I forgot my tagline, but we're gonna have a good stream. It's a long stream, so I did what I could to make sure that I don't ramble on for as much as I normally do. So I took a bunch of notes. So this will be a very long yet very structured stream. We're going to be moving at somewhat of a faster pace here. I'll get some housekeeping stuff out of the way. So yeah, I'm back. What did I miss? You know, let's this is sort of a catch-up stream, sort of a return from vacation stream, and just a general stream because you know it's Monday night. That's what we're trying to do. I'm trying to knock out probably too many birds with one stone here. Like I could probably split this into 3 streams, but I'm gonna try and get this all done tonight only because I don't want to stream more than once this week. You know, I want to spend some time editing. You know, working on this Zelda video. Probably finally finishing it, or finishing the playthrough, so I can just work on just the recording and the editing now. But yeah, back from Japan. All right, let's switch over to the topics here. Chopper, Chopper's going through one of my binders. Oh, you can't see him from here. All right, whatever. Well, let him do his thing. I'm also very tired. So, yeah. Long story short, went to Japan for 2 weeks. We saw the cherry blossoms. Saw a bunch of other stuff. I'm using my One Piece mug. So, Sam, you know, if you're watching, I do drink out of it. Yeah. I'll tell you guys more in depth about Japan, but basically we spent 2 weeks out there, or 15 days, and I'm not quite recovered from the jet lag. I started to feel a little tired. As soon as I announced like the stream again, like at 6:30, to be like, hey, reminder, going live in an hour, and that's when it all hit me. So luckily, I still had enough coffee to make another cup. I'm usually a 2 cup a day kind of person. Today it's kind of at 3. And since I'm in this big ass getup, this heavy ass coat, the window's open, so you probably hear the helicopter outside. But we're just gonna have to deal with some outside sounds today because I'm not sweating balls for 3 hours straight. But you know what I am sweating? You cutie pie. Look at this guy. He got so fat while we were away. Look at this guy. You got big back. You're a big back boy now. Look at him. He's so fucking fat. Chopper was being watched. Like, that was the worst part about being away was having to be away from these guys, right? From Chopper and Bippy. These cutie pies, who we love very much. So, our babysitter, which is my partner's friend. She held it down because she's awesome, and she played with them. She kept them really nice and what do you call it? Excited, you know, changing around the living room and whatnot. She also converted them to Judaism at some point. Um, but you know, she entertained them. She held it down, and she sent us videos and photos every day, every morning. Like one of the best part of waking up every morning was not just, oh my god, we're in Japan. It was oh shit, we have new videos of the boys, and she's a really good like photographer and whatnot. So every video was just top notch. Um, Caught them in nice little moments and shit. Maybe I'll put that into a reel and like you know show you some of the highlights on here. But yeah, the boys were very well taken care of, which I'm always grateful for. So, what was it called? I was out there. Oh yeah, so there's I know I haven't streamed in a while. I was out, you know. When I was making the stream today, I was like, well, damn, how many One Piece chapters do I have to catch up on? 2 or 3? And then I realized it was 5 because I have not been streaming for like a month and a half at this point. I was initially going to come in here and be like, well, I've been actually in Japan for 2 months. And then be like, I lied. You know, I'm not, we were just there for 2 weeks. But you know, I fucked that up because I didn't read my notes. I didn't go over my notes for the stream, so I might miss out on some of the golden the quality jokes that I've set up for this stream. So we'll see. So number 1 on the agenda, yeah, Begone. What did I miss? Number 2, fuck that up. Yeah, Streamlabs ever since I updated it has been acting really weird. Like, oh shit, there's Bippy. When Bippy comes close, I'm gonna swap him up too. Yeah, I updated Streamlabs. It was kind of weird. Every time I would try to go live, it would just schedule the live. It wouldn't actually let me go live, even though I was doing all the same things. And so today I tested it out. I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to like switch over to OBS. Tested it out. You probably saw that. One of y'all probably saw me go live earlier today accidentally. Well, not accidentally, but just to test it out. And it worked. And now I know how to schedule streams too. So, you know, whenever there is a stream day, you guys will know in advance. You also get the video on your feed before it happens, hopefully. Bippy's under here trying to crawl underneath the rug, the area rug that I'm currently sitting on. But yeah, before I left, we were heavily planning. Like, to plan for Japan, it's like, I'll show you the spreadsheet. So long as it doesn't have any like personal info on it, which I don't think it does actually. Yeah, I can show you guys this. But basically, this is how the spreadsheet looks. We like list all the shit that we want to do. I'm very proud of the spreadsheet. That's why I'm showing it to you guys. List all the things that we want to do, and then we like kind of like start to be like, all right, where are we gonna like be fluctuating? Like, what cities are we really gonna be chilling at? Yada yada yada, and then we start to really organize things, and even color code. Very proud of this stuff, and a lot of this stuff I will recommend to everyone. Like, don't worry, we'll talk more about this stuff on stream. But yeah, if I can like make like a tips video for like planning for Japan, honestly, the only thing I would say is like trust your feed. Like, before you even know that you really want to go or that you're gonna make the decision to go, your algorithm will probably pick that shit up. So you'll start to get a lot of recommendations. And if you're smart and you've been getting recommendations for years, you've been saving them somewhere, right? So you know kind of like where to go. You don't have to like last minute figure it out. But if you want like the life hack, Tokyo Cheapo videos are a great starting point. That's what we did for a lot of this trip, to kind of like figure out, all right, what is there like more or less to do in each area, and then you know we'll find our own things to do and add on to it. Sorry, the boys are playing by the binder. They are fucking each other up right now. Okay, sorry, they're like half-ass playing. yeah, if there's like a tips video that I could make on like how to plan for Japan, maybe I'll make that sometime this week. But mainly it's just, bro, organize the fuck out of like a spreadsheet, get all the ideas in one place, and you know, slowly organize it from there. Now, um, while I was out there, actually, I got to speak to one of a friend of a friend, basically, um, who will be working Anime Expo. So I'm heavily enticed to go out there. I might pull up to Anime Expo. It just depends on whether or not I got a job and have the finances to expend out there, because it's not a cheap trip to just go out to Cali for a 4 day convention, But if I do pull up, I will be debuting the Yuha cosplay out there because I figured out how to make this cosplay a little bit more of my own rather than just buying the cosplay online and like not spending thousands of dollars to remake the cosplay and like designer shit or whatever. Not necessarily. That's not necessary for this. Like this is from Amazon. A lot of this cosplay is from Amazon and eBay. So just like doing it that way again, piecing it together in my own way instead of just buying a costume. I've kind of figured out how to do that now. So if I pull up as Yuha at Anime Expo, then if I don't pull up there, I'm gonna still be at Anime NYC. But if I pull up to Anime Expo in the Yuha cosplay, just know that shit is going to go fucking phenomenally hard. Like I get compliments for the Roger cosplay. The Yuha cosplay is gonna be crazy. How's it going? Oh yeah, so I was gonna stockpile a bunch of videos before I left. Like I started to write down a bunch of video ideas, just like quickly record before I left. But I didn't get to that because I was so busy planning, and by planning I mean playing the latest update from Grounded 2 because that game is fun as hell, and I love building me a nice fort, a forever fort, if you will. Hopefully my levels are okay for this stream. Although I'm not gonna really be listening to anything in the background, so we should be okay. So that's general housekeeping stuff. Yeah, as for Japan itself, man, Japan is a very special place. Not because I'm a weeb and because, it's a big old dream to go out there. It's our third time going there now. And it still always feels brand new. It doesn't matter how much of Tokyo we explore, there's always so much. Like the more you explore Tokyo, the more you realize you haven't explored Tokyo. So, doesn't matter how much of a plan you really go in with, you're always gonna leave going, damn, I need to go back right now. At least that's how it is for me. The second we left, I was like, damn, we have to figure out when the heck we're coming back here because I got depression now. And part of that depression comes from realizing how cheap things are out there. Not just because the conversion rate is good for the US dollar. Like $1 is like 60 cents out here is like $1 out there or some shit like that. But like things are also priced cheaper out there, right? Like if I go to Uniqlo and I get like 3 socks for like $12, right? You get like the deal or some shit like that. But out there, that's like 990 yen, which kind of was like the equivalent to $9. But then when you hit the conversion rate, it's more like $5. So it's pretty crazy. Like there was this, I think the last night that we spent there, we went out with like 2 friends, and we went out to a bar, like a very fancy old school bar with like a pianist in it and shit. Nuts. And oh shit, I forget that I have multi-chat on. Whoops. I'm sorry if anyone's typing in Twitch chat. Let me switch over real quick. Probably not, but just in case, let me just get a hold on that. All right. What is it called? Yeah, on our last night there, we went out with a couple of friends to that bar. Cool ass bar, fancy bar. Like I said, there's a pianist there. Very old school. And something that would be like, I don't know, hundreds of dollars if you went with 4 people and just spent like a couple hours there, was like $20 a head. And we got like 3 pizzas, like 3 personal pizzas. We got like maybe close to 10 drinks. And that shit was like $20 a head. There's only 4 of us, so it's always crazy, mind-boggling how cheap food is out there, and that's something you never really and drinks too, right? Because like you can spend like $5 on a drink that would on the same exact cocktail that in New York would cost you like $17 to $20, right, or $23, I think sometimes. Um, yeah, you have so much more. You do so much more with so much less, and like I know that Japan's like not the best case scenario for that. Like you go to fucking I don't know Thailand or some shit like that, and you know your money can stretch you even further out there. But like for being as big of a city and as what is it called, as so modernized of a city as Japan is, like it's just always surprising how good the U.S. dollar does out there. Although obviously there's like political and what's it called, political and historical reasons for that. I don't really know them that well, so I'm not gonna really speak on them. But yeah, aside from those two things, like the toys, like the figurines, the amount of money I spent on clothing, which I won't really get into, is one thing, right? It's already crazy, but like when you account for like the secondhand shops out there, like clothing, just like the amount of money you spend on shit that you would spend so much money on out here is like ridiculous. Like the day before we left, I went and I got some new sneakers, some New Balances, so that you know I wasn't walking around a bunch because you're hitting like 20,000 steps a day, like 10 to 20,000, but like 10 is like the cheapest. 10 is the least you're gonna be doing out there. But like I hit 23,000, I think, in a day. What was I saying? Yeah, I went and bought some New Balances out here, and I spent like damn near $200 on them. And then I went out to the New Balance store out there just to check the price. It's like, bro, half is everything is like half off out there. And that brings me to the toys, right? I got a bunch of fucking, as you can see here, this is mainly the haul here. Is I got a bunch of fucking figurines and shit, and like just random shit. And bro, you spend nothing. You spend absolutely nothing on them. I'm pretty sure I took off the price tags, but if I didn't, fuck my life. You're about to see y'all about to be able to pocket watch. Yeah, and then so like everything is cheap out there. It's just an amazing looking place, you know, like you probably notice like there's no cars, there's no street parking or whatever. People carry their trash all the way home, so you don't really see trash on the street like that. Trains are always on time, all like the stuff that you already know about Japan. But like what I was thinking about today, like one of the main differences from Japan and like New York that really hits you in the gut when you come back home is there's a base level of cleanliness that they have out there where you can go into like a bathroom and you look at the urinals are fucking spotless, and it never really smells out there. Whereas out here, it's like someone's gonna piss on your back and tell you it's raining. That's how it feels. Like you have urinal cakes, which are like meant to mask the smell of piss. Why does it smell like piss in the first place? Why you're not cleaning as much as you should? Every fucking bathroom out there has, like, it doesn't matter where you go. I think I maybe went to there was maybe one public bathroom that was like a single stall bathroom that, like, it's a private bathroom, whatever, that didn't have a bidet. Everyone, like, we went to a live house. It's just like a dingy ass like punk rock metal venue, and even that had a fucking bidet. Like, it's crazy. So there's like a base level of cleanliness out there that like they ensure is always met. That there's a threshold for cleanliness that is always met. Whereas out here it feels like someone just threw sprinkles on a pile of shit and is trying to convince you that no, actually this is chocolate ice cream. That's how it kind of feels out here sometimes, or most of the time. Like I said, it just doesn't smell like piss everywhere. I can say that as a New Yorker. I can make that comment. What else happened out there? Oh yeah, a couple days into Japan, we were on the train. I forget where the hell we were going, but like, I see because they have the news on the train, right? It's how mind blowing it is out there. And I see like a news thing, and it's like, oh shit, Chuck Norris died, and I was like, God damn, bro, Chuck Norris. I was, my heart kind of dropped. I was like a little sad because Chuck Norris jokes were like a huge part of like my teen years. Is like, Chuck Norris, like, you if you type in Chuck Norris's name wrong in Google, it doesn't correct you. It just tells you to run. So it's like always like good, like that. The core being of what it is for me to have dad jokes came from Chuck Norris jokes. And nowadays I would switch that over to like Mitch Hedberg style of comedy. Like that's where like the core of my dad joke humor comes from. But like for a long time, it was still Chuck Norris jokes. So it was a little sad to see that he died, and I was like, damn, I'm not gonna take this as like a bad omen for this trip. It's just kind of like, damn, Chuck Norris is dead. That sucks. And then I remember these MAGA, so I got over it very quickly. Now I said earlier I was like trying to stockpile some shit, and when I got out there, as you can see, I like posted. We did like an Airbnb experience that took us on a ride like through Tokyo, showed us the car scene. We were in Skylines. We like traded Skylines at some point. Like we were in different ones. It was a very fun night, very fun experience. And I was like, well, this is easy like B-roll footage that I've recorded throughout this experience. I can make this into a reel. So the next morning I made it into that reel. And I started to have like the idea of like, well, maybe I should start trying to make content out here. If it's just like easy to make content. So I dropped a couple of videos while I was out there, and I was like, I don't want to spend my entire fucking vacation filming. Like, what am I gonna teach out really? Like, what the fuck do I look like? Being like, oh hey guys, let me take you to fucking Shibuya Parko and show you the Mewtwo. Like, no, I'm not gonna fucking do that. I'm gonna go say what up to Mewtwo. That's my guy. I'm gonna have my moment with him, cause that's my guy, and then I'm gonna keep it pushing. Like, I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna go to every. I'm already spending way too long in each store looking for the exact things that I want to buy. I'm not going to then spend another 30 minutes to record a video being like, here's what they have. Like, this is the store. This is the store that you definitely already know about because you're coming to Japan. There's nothing I'm going to teach you about the fucking yaoi dungeon in Japan, right? Like, it's not going to happen. So I very quickly turned around from like, all right, I'm gonna record shit while I'm out here because I didn't stockpile any footage, to, yeah, fuck that, I'm just gonna enjoy my vacation. I'm already tired as hell from walking around. I'm not gonna take extra time and extra steps, and it's already like jam-packed days, right? I showed you the itinerary. It's pretty lax, but like still getting around and having enough time to meander and like actually enjoy the place that you're in leaves very little time to go and record content. So I'm not out there for work. If someone's gonna, sponsor me and pay me to go back out there to record, I'll do that. But not on my own watch, right? What was it called? Oh yeah, the while we were doing the I guess I'm gonna call it the Tokyo Drift experience, even though we weren't drifting, but like when we did the like the car meetup experience, we were like making our rounds in the parking lot, and like a group of kids that passed by them, and I heard them go like, oh, Kaido. And I was like, fuck, with the long hair I give off less Roger, I give off more Kaido. And like I think my, instead of being turned in, I think they were turned out too, the mustache. So I was like, I understand that, I respect that. I turned around and I was like, Raja, and they're like, oh shit, he heard us, he understood us. But I'm like, maybe I gotta start what's it called? I gotta start embracing the idea that I might give off more Kaido than Roger now, and start hitting motherfuckers with the whenever they say some shit like that to me. So I'm keeping it in mind. I don't have the 6-pack or the body fat percentage to pull off Kaido, I think, but we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens, because I do want like a dragon scale sleeve, so that would kind of work in my favor to already have on me in case I do want to pop out a Kaido cosplay. So it is now ingrained in my head. And it was not the only time that trip or this trip that I was called Kaido. So I'm taking the signs. I'm trying to go through the doors that are opening here. but yeah, like I'm like name like so I listed a bunch of places that like we went, kind of like to give like a wrap up of things that we did, and now it does feel like instead of like making the videos while I was out there, like, oh, I went to this place, we went to that place. I'm kind of just being like, well, I went to this place, I went to that place. It feels like I'm doing it anyway. But one of the other spots we went to that was like kind of a highlight was actually I'll go out of order here. No, you know what? No. Let's go. So we went to a spot called Nakano Broadway, which you probably have heard of. If you haven't heard of, it's like a long. It's like not an endless mall, but it might like you're gonna spend a few hours there, just combing through some of these stores, because there was like what's it called? There were these. There's like a bunch of mandarekes, which if you don't know of already is like not superstores, but like specialty stores. Like they have like a bunch of different like anime shit, like ranging from very retro like 80s anime to like nowadays to like they have all. So I'll put it this way. I'll start the haul with this actually. So every time I go, let me just pick this up real quick. Okay. So every time I go to Japan, I make sure to pick up the jump from the week or the weeks that I was there. Just one, right? Just to document like this is the date in which I was occupied in Japan. Sorry. Just like a memento. Like, hey, I was in Japan this day or this week, this around this time. And they have in Mandarake an entire like library of old like retro shonen, but they also have the era of shonen that I came up in, right? The big three era. And so I always try to like pick up something from there. So the first time I went, yeah, they're over there. My you can see them. They're on that shelf right there, right above my thumb, right there. There's a couple of weekly shonens there. Or weekly jumps. Sorry, I'm gonna let the helicopter pass. But yeah, there's they got a bunch of shit there. So the first time I went, I think I picked up like an issue where it had like all of the big three characters on it, but I also picked up one where it had Bakuman on it and one where it had the Prince of Tennis, and God, I love Prince of Tennis. But this time I picked up a Bleach one because I'm a big old Bleach stan. But also, since I love Bleach, I also hate Toriko because when Bleach ended, I felt like it was a large reason was because they were trying to get Toriko in the door. They were trying to make a push for Toriko, and they're trying to get the Bleach the fuck out of there. So I have an aversion to watching Toriko. I've never seen it before, and I probably won't ever. And my aversion is probably reinforced by the fact that there was like a One Piece Dragon Ball and Toriko special that came out. I was like, all right, fuck. I guess fuck Ichigo, whatever. So I went and got this issue. I was like, Ichigo's on the cover, Aizen's on the cover. You can see him there, sort of. You also got Toriko there. And I was like, well, before I completely pick this up, what happened in this week, right? So I looked up like the One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach chapters of that week. And I don't remember what the One Piece one was, and obviously the Bleach one is of this era. This might have actually been Turn Back the Pendulum era. Maybe. I haven't unsealed this yet. I probably won't unseal this ever, actually. Yeah, I want to keep this shit in tip top condition. This is still inside the plastic, so I probably won't ever confirm exactly what is inside this. But I know for sure that the One Piece chapter that aired this week in this volume of Weekly Jump was the chapter that Ace died in. So I was like, after I realized that, I was like, I'm definitely picking this up. Like this has too much history behind it to not be picked up, right? Of all the things that were there. And then also, I don't know if you saw me carrying over three jump magazines. This one I will probably seal myself because it's not sealed. So on the back you got the Demon Slayer movie, right? The Infinity Castle movie ad, but this is also the 20th anniversary of One Piece volume. So this came out like this year. And so when I saw the cover for Jump that week, because I was reading on the scan site, I was like, oh shit! I hit up one of the homies in Japan, and I was like, yo, can you just pick this up for me? And then I'll grab it from you whenever we visit. And so that was a nice little return to sender or gift to pick up whenever we hung out with them. But yeah, it's got Luffy. It's got all the forms of Luffy, all of his gears. Cute little 28 going on here. Let me show you. Yeah, so you got the gear 1, gear 2, 4, you got 5 over there. Like it's a nice little Luffy thing. And then I also pick up, this is a new tradition. This is a somewhat new tradition. Which is to get the One Piece volume that comes out that year. Right? Or that the latest One Piece volume that's been dropping. So these volumes you can find in pretty much every konbini. Every konbini has like One Piece volumes like right at the counter as like this is your what's it called, the candies that be like next to the cash out, like your impulse buys, like get the new One Piece. So, and I was like, I have to grab this. This is the Rock Saga. This is the top tier. This is the top tier of the verse, basically. For some time, right? Like everyone's favorite character for like a few months, and probably still for many, many people. I gotta get the Rocksteady back cover of the latest One Piece volume or whatever. So I picked that up. Now I'm satisfied. But I say all that to say, while at Nakano Broadway, there was another thing that I absolutely had to pick up. You already seen the Bleach cover. But this was a real impulse buy. Because we passed the Mandarake, and I was looking at, oh no, I think I just scratched off my pimple. There was like window display of like old retro shit, obviously. And one of the things I will show you. Yeah. I'll show you that now. I'll show these together because I got them at the same time. Because another underdog that is my goat, but probably no one else's except maybe King of Lightning because I feel like I've heard him mention him before. But I got an Animage magazine with the goat himself, the best Gundam pilot of all time, motherfucking Domon Kashu. With his, I'm pretty sure this is Burning Gundam. No, this is Shining Gundam. Yeah, Burning Gundam has 4. Yeah, also Domon Kashu on the cover of Animage with his Shining Gundam. Absolutely fire. And there was another one there, like a new type magazine cover with fucking hard. It was a Gundam Wing cover, but I didn't get it because I was like. At that point, I already knew I was like tight on space in my suitcase because it's towards the end of the trip. So what we did was we did Tokyo first, then Osaka, then back to Tokyo. And then we used Osaka to do a bunch of day trips. So I'll talk about those in a second. But in that same window display that I got that magazine, sitting next to it was this. Because I'm a Bleach fan. Now, this is, you might just be like, well, you just got the first copy of Bleach. Yeah, let's see. Trying to see what volume of Bleach I got. But like, you got the first volume of Bleach, so who gives a shit? This is the first printing of the volumes of Bleach. So like, the first time Bleach was ever fucking serialized, it was this guy. And you can see like there's wear and tear, like the pages are yellow and shit. So it's not in mint condition, but like, shit old as hell. It's a relic, so had to pick that up. So that's what we got so far. And that was all in Nakano Broadway. Now, Nakano Broadway also had a couple of other things. They had a fuck ton of hentai, first of all, but they had what's it called? Like there's like 4 floors, and every single one of them is nuts.com. But on one of them, now I'm not gonna tell you exactly where the store is, and I have no B-roll or like screenshots or any type of footage as to anything that's inside this store because it's just not allowed. There's no cameras whatsoever allowed inside the store, or photos or videos to be taken. Now, this shop is like, I want to say, the coolest shop in all of Nakano Broadway. It's at the top floor. It's like in a nice little corner, but it is a shop that has original cells from OG anime. Like, again, before my time, like 80s and shit like that, but also has some of the shit that is of my time. So they had cells from like Dragon Ball and Rurouni Kenshin, and I don't think I saw any One Piece, but like they had like, Cardcaptor Sakura and shit like that. Now, each of those cells at the very least is like 2 racks. Like to come out of there with a piece of anime history, an official piece of anime history, is gonna cost you a couple $1,000 at the very least. Though I'm pretty sure I saw a cell of Makoto Shishio of just his face, just like him standing there hard as fuck, for like $600. I want to say. I think I misread that, but it might have been for 600. Now, I didn't get it because you had to come with that place only takes cash. And if I really was able to like get some footage of this stuff, then maybe I'd make a reel about it. But I'm just gonna tell you guys about it and maybe cut this up into a short later on, right? But this shop is crazy. Like, it's like a library. Like, you pull out binders of just straight up anime history, and you can just go through it. And there's a lot of very old anime, like I guess you would call it hentai. I'm not too sure because it's so old that I'm just unfamiliar with the game here. But there's like blown up shit. There's things like on display that are just like, they're also cells, but they're also like original drawings of like things that would become cells. Like I pulled out the Dragon Ball manga or the Dragon Ball binder, and the only thing that was like affordable for my budget was a cell of Chi Chi. And it's like Kid Chi Chi, so she's like, she's got like the pink like helmet on and shit like that. And it's like torso up. It's like not even a full body. Like a full body would probably be twice the price, and that shit was still some money. Like it was out of my price range, but I was like, this is gonna be my last purchase of the trip, then might as well go out with a bang, kind of thing. And I was unsure, so I was like, let me wait till I'll come back. I'll come back the day that we leave, because we had a lot of free time. Me and my girl split up to like do our own things that day. I went back to Nakano Broadway just for that shop, and I think they're just closed on weekends, and it was a Saturday, so I didn't get to go back and either get my Shishio or my Chi-Chi. So that was unfortunate. But they had Super Saiyan 2 Gohan there. They had fucking Imperfect Cell there. I think they had Super Saiyan Vegeta. Oh no, they had Super Saiyan Trunks when he's like bulked up fighting Cell. But then the one that I was like, damn, if I'm gonna ever spend money on like crazy money on a cell and like a piece of anime history, it would probably be this one. Like if I'm gonna go into debt or like take out a loan for something, it'd probably be this, because it's gonna be worth more money anyway in the future, so long as you keep it, safe, right? And it is the cell of Piccolo sacrificing himself for Gohan. I was like, they have that here. Among all the other things that they have, they had that there. And I was like, yo, how much is that? I think that shit was like I can't remember if it was 600,000 yen or 6 million yen. Either way, way more money than what I was capable of doing there. Yeah, crazy shit. Uh, but that was probably like my favorite store out there. And I didn't get anything from it. But you know, if you're looking for some good food, Nakano Broadway is an amazing soba shop. I went up there and I filled up and I tapped out. Like I got like the extra large soba meal and my girl had to finish it for me. So that's Nakano Broadway. We also did like a few other things, like we enjoyed the cherry blossoms, right? The cherry blossoms are all around there, but like we went to a picnic with our friends. That's when I got the the One Piece 28-year manga or jump issue from them. We did a nice little picnic. Took a nice little Polaroids. We start to hand out Polaroids to people. Like they would take a picture on the phone for us. We would take a Polaroid for them, hand it out to them. That was fun. We went to so that was in the second leg of the Tokyo trip, or the second Tokyo trip. So the first one was basically just like Tokyo Drift. I forget, we did a couple other things. Let me see. Bro, there you go. Autocorrect is being ass. Oh yeah, so the entire time we were out there, I was looking for a specific gacha machine. I'll save that. I'll save that. Yeah, we kind of like kept it chill for the first leg of this trip. We did like the Tokyo Drift thing. We went to Mori Garden, went to Mori Tower. Like we did like some museum stuff, but we mainly kept it at a slow pace. And then once we got to Osaka, she got a little wild. Fun, still fun. Where am I at? Yeah. Once we get to Osaka, it was like we split up, so we made sure that we weren't like retreading too much ground because we had already done Osaka on the last trip. So we used that to like go to Kobe, go to Mino. We went to a nice little island or beach town called Amano Hashidate, which is like in the first half of that tour felt like a scam, but like the second half of the day, like really like solidified it as like a great experience. Just in terms of like being able to see what a small town looks like. I met like an old lady out there named Kimiko, and it was really cute. So I was like the tour guy is like, hey, we're about to go into town. Before we go into town, like here's a restroom. Everyone go use the restroom. Then we'll meet up one more time, and then we got to split up and we'll be here for a couple of hours. So I don't have to use the restroom, but my girl does. So I'm waiting outside the restroom for her, and old lady comes by, and I'm like, oh shit. She probably thinks I'm creepy. I'm standing in front of the restroom. Let me move. So I immediately am like, that's what she's telling me to do, and I walk out the way, not knowing that's not at all what she's telling me to do. She's like actually waving me down to ask me where the fuck I'm from. So when I hear her like basically say that again, I'm like, oh shit, let me pay attention to what people are telling me. Like trade greetings with her real quick, and she's like, where like never seen hair or something like that. She talks about the mustache and about my hair. She's like, where are you from? And I'm like, oh, I'm from New York. And she pulls out a fucking picture book that has like a world map on it, and she draws an arrow, or she draws a circle around New York and then draws an arrow, and then she asks me my name. So she writes down my name just to be like, I met someone from New York and his name is, I'm not telling you my name. And she's like, this is great. It was nice to meet you and shit like that. So we chopped it up. I don't speak, I'm not fluent in Japanese, but I can like start a conversation. I can, get intros out of the way, get the Nisune Mas out of the way, and get some basic conversation going, enough to get around and enough to like actually connect with someone. In terms of getting like in depth in terms of like philosophical conversation, this is not happening. I can't even, I'm not gonna be able to do even like small business with anyone, right? I could just mainly be like, hey, I'm from this place, nice to meet you, what do you do for a living type shit. I can get small talk out of the way, but that's enough to make a connection with people. And I took a selfie with her. She was really sweet. And then like I waved my girlfriend down. I was like, yo, meet Kimiko. She's really cool. And then I took a little selfie with her. But and then she took a picture of me. She wanted a picture of me. So it was really fun. So yeah, that was Amano Hashidate. We went to Kobe. I fucked up as much food as I possibly could out in Kobe. There was like, they had like beef sushi. I ate the fuck out of that. Ate their beef gyoza, like any Kobe beef that I could probably get my hands out on. I ate the fuck out of it, and that was all in basically Kobe's Chinatown. Because we started off that day in Kobe with like a cute cafe, which again we got recommended from Tokyo Chipo, which again I suggest you guys just go watch in case you're ever planning on going to Japan, just for some ideas. It was like an old ass cafe, like European style, really nice. We didn't really get too much from it because we knew we were gonna eat right after that, so we got like some strawberry toast and like some coffees and stuff, just to like simmer our bellies down, because like an hour long trip from where we were at, right? Like you get on the train for like maybe 30 minutes, but like you're walking for also 15 each way, like to the train and from the train. But Kobe was nice. I think I would spend another day in Kobe if we could. But you know, for the one day that we were out there, it was for treating it as a day trip. We got pretty much enough of the Kobe experience. Yeah, then we went to Mino. So we split up our Osaka days, doing like day in Osaka, day out of Osaka, day in, day out. So had another day in Osaka, then went to Kobe. Another day in Osaka, then we went to Mino. And same for Amano Hashidate. So Mino was like a cute little waterfall, a way to bring nature into the trip. It's like a 30-minute hike each way. And then on the way out, we ran into some monkeys, which I didn't fucking know was part of the trip. Yeah, we see like two ladies on the side of the road just staring at something. So we look and we're like, oh shit, it's two monkeys over there. And then another one crawls above us on the tree above us, jumps to the tree across. And I'm like, nah, I gotta see these monkeys. So I find a way. We like, you know, there's like a bridge that leads you to kind of like to the house that they're all congregating in. So I just watching monkeys for like half an hour. And that was a nice way to end that. And then we went to like a cafe that like, you know, has specialties from like, you know, local foods basically. All that shit was really tasty. And then yeah, we just basically shopped. Spent the rest of Osaka just like shopping and drinking and stuff. We did like a couple of revisits. Like we went back to the spot called Bar Call Me Tell Me, which is a bar that's inside of a phone booth. It's not that small. It's like obviously bigger, but like it's a cool gimmick. Like Japan has like the best gimmicks out there. And yeah, so we went out there. Like that bar is like there's no menu. You tell the bartender, who is like has been bartending for like a quarter century at this point, what base alcohol you like and what kind of flavor palette you like. You know, sour, sweet, something like that. And he makes you one of the best cocktails you've ever had in your life. And then he gives you a history lesson as to like what went into him choosing each like part of that cocktail, like the specific base liquor, the bottle that he chose, what he chose to accent with that, like a liqueur that he chose to accent with that. He gives you the history on like where it's made and shit like that. It is the most professional experience I think I've ever had in my life. In terms of any type of dining out or whatever, like that dude knows his shit. And I wish I remembered his name, but I'll tag him if I make a short out of this. And then yeah, you have one of the best cocktails you ever had in your life, and then you go in for round two, and it's the same thing. You have again one of the best things you ever had in your fucking life. Every cocktail is insanely tasty, and you know if you're willing to go outside of your normal palate, you will be pleasantly surprised. I'm not necessarily someone who looks for gin, but after I'm done with my first whiskey cocktail, I go in for the gin and two more gins after that. And it was like, yeah. So again, some of the best cocktails ever. And yeah, like a lot of bars are like maybe not as like specialty is like maybe not in terms of professionalism. Well, not professionalism, but like in terms of overall knowledge of like exactly like being a master of your craft. They might not all be like that, but there's always like a really fun gimmick and a really fun bartender experience that you will have out there with no matter what you go into. So in Osaka, when we went to like a comedy club, right? And the lead up to the comedy club is us just like finding a bar to go sit at to kill some time while we're waiting to go there, because like, you know, we'd been walking around, shopping again, doing other stuff. We're just kind of like meandering. And we go down this one block, and I swear there was like 10 bars back to back, all storefront bars, right? They're not like inside of a building. And it's like, you know, each floor is another bar. No. These are like all ground level bars basically, and each of them have their own completely different gimmick. There's like a folk music bar. There's like a space bar. There was like other shit too, and then you got nice little izakayas that are also just sprinkled within that. And then went to a comedy show, and there's a video coming out next week that I'm supposed to be tagged in, which is it was a great experience. The comedy club is a great experience. Obviously, you have your people who are hell bent on ruining the night for themselves and everyone else. So we got the full. I've never been to a comedy show that was like, you know, not amateur, but like not specifically one person that I'm going to see. Right? It's like there's a set list of people. It's like going to the Comedy Cellar in New York. I've never been there, so I got that kind of experience in Osaka Comedy Club. But yeah, the MC was fucking hilarious. All four people that went on stage were hilarious. But the MC is like especially hilarious, dude, because he's like just doing crowd work, right? And crowd work with a crowd that like you have to like get into the action and really break them down enough for them to like, you know, loosen the shoulders for the rest of the show. It's like it's such a hard job, so I always respect when people can not only do that for themselves to make their own set work, but to make the room lively and comfortable enough so that the rest of the set can work. Like it's like when I went to go see Dave Chappelle, he's like doing hard hitting shit when I saw him. But like he's opened up by Darnell Rawlings, who spends the entire first 3 minutes of his set fucking playing Old Town Road and being like, don't tell me I don't fuck with this song. Like his first, it felt like half his set is justifying Old Town Road for you to now enjoy. And then the second half was like about how white people love picking up dog shit. It's like he's so out there. And then on comes Dave Chappelle to tell you, you know, why trans people can't take a joke or whatever the fuck he does now. But at the time, it was hilarious. So, not that part, but at the time, he was hilarious. Now I kind of just feel like he's way too preachy. There was a good balance before, but, you know, still all-time great, I guess, I have to say. But yeah, with every new special, I'm kind of like, okay, whatever, bro. We're on the slow decline, I guess. And yeah, we came back to Tokyo, did a bunch of thrifting, which I would not count as thrifting nowadays. But you know, went to some spots that, you know, you hear about online. I didn't really get anything from super old, but I did fucking pull out of that Koenji area with a fire ass trench coat, which again, like, thrifting is not thrifting, but like, bro, if you really are like, I'm looking for a specific piece or like an accent piece, thrifting is still good for you. But like if you're like me, who I'm looking for like either something loud or something to be a centerpiece for an outfit to build around it, or I've already found that centerpiece, I'm looking for other equally cool things to piece together with that, then I don't know, to me it feels like thrifting isn't really for you. It's just like everything is just so not well priced, right? There were things that I was looking for thigh-high boots out there. Not thigh-high, knee-high boots out there. And I finally found a store with one of them, and that shit was super duper expensive, even though it was like the shoes were beat to shit. And I looked it up, and I'm like, well, if I spend $80 more on these same exact boots, I can get them brand new. Why the fuck would I thrift these worn to shit for basically just like 20% off retail? So that's whatever. But I guess the trade-off is like it's still in Japan, so it's still like at least $100 cheaper than what you would pay out here anyway for the same exact brand, or for like shipping or whatever. So the math probably adds up a little bit better than what I was thinking initially, but we'll see. And then yeah, a bunch of other shit. So let's get into some of the haul, right? We already kind of taste tested it, but let's get into more of this shit here. So, while I was out there, I was looking for. Sorry. I had a few things on my list. So when I initially created the list, I was like, let me go get all the new elemental hero or the new mask heroes that came out because I'm a hero player. But then I realized, well, if I want to actually play with these cards, I need them to be in English because they're all effect cards and they're all new effects that I'm not too familiar with. So I decided against the mask heroes. But I still got a bunch of shit. Still had a few cards on the list that I wanted to pick up. So I run GOAT format with my neighbor downstairs. So I had a couple of cards. I had a couple of cards that were like, I need to go find these, and one of them was the Magician of Faith, holographic, but like with the OG shit. It's not focusing. Why are you not focusing? There you go. Holographic OG attack and defense box or whatever. The effect is still there. I was like, all right, nice find. I couldn't find 3 of her though. This is the only one I found in like the 100 card shops that I went into. No kidding. Like, there's a lot of card shops in Osaka, and only one of them had a single copy of the Magician of Faith. There was also I'll get into it. But I also got a nice little Hollow Thunder Dragon. So I only have one ultra rare of it. So I picked up another one. In Japanese, Thunder the Dragon's effect is pretty simple. I'm already used to playing with them, so it's not like it's really going to hinder me or whatever. So I got those 2. Wasn't even on the list. I was just like, oh shit, Thunder Dragon. Sweet. Another guy who was not on the list, if I can find him, because I don't have him. I have him in Speed Duel, but I'm pretty sure it's still in common. But got me a Breaker. Shit, hold on, I can't show you all the price. Oh, none of these I switched all of these anyway, so none of these prices are gonna really be there. But got me a little Breaker, the Magical Warrior. Nice little staple in GOAT format. He looks nice. Look at him. Look at him shining. You know, I didn't have to pay like $20 for him used on fucking TCG Player. And then in terms of the last GOAT for shit, bro, why do you keep turning off? In terms of the last GOAT format stuff that I was looking for. Oh yeah, this is yeah. Sorry, I forgot I had another token here. I'll save that for in just a second. So I was looking for, again, I only found 1. I was looking for 4. I'm pretty sure this is still like a sticker. But it was Scapegoat tokens. Scapegoat tokens are like, to get them in super rare out here is like more money than I'm willing to spend. So I was happy I at least found 1. Did not find all 4. And again, I'm pretty sure this is like a different rarity. This is pretty fucked. I'm pretty sure this is like a fake card. But still fun. Got a Scapegoat token. I can add that to the collection real quick. And then yeah, so there's another tradition that I have when I'm out there, which is to get Kuriboh. And it started out with just getting Wing Kuriboh. So I got a little Kuriboh token. Put that with the Scapegoat. And so I'll save these 2 for last. So it started off with me looking for this winged Kuriboh, the alternate art in Hollow, right? Nice little winged Kuriboh winking, because I'm a GX fan. And then I also was out there looking for, the first time I went to Japan, looking for regular winged Kuriboh in Hollow. I did not find them. I found both of these guys out here on this trip, like literally just next to each other. And I think inside of a card shop in Akihabara. So that was finally a good find, a nice little find that was somewhat unexpected because that was not on my goal this trip. It was just always like the one that was on my goal this trip was this guy. Shit, I keep trying to show y'all the amounts, even though I'm pretty sure I've switched all these sleeves, so none of these amounts are similar. So full art, Wing Kuriboh, level 10, Sabatiel. So Sabatier is not playable. Pretty fire. And then we also got like the multiplying Karibo full art. Not like I've expanded from like just getting Wing Karibo to just getting Karibo. Like I'm gonna be like that one chick with the Pikachu binder who just only gets Pikachu. Or it's like the one that's like always gets Sabrina trainer card or whatever. It's like it was a video I saw recently. And then OG Alt-Art Karibo here. And what's it called? Also not on the list, but I said fuck it anyway because I hate. So I run heroes outside of Go format. I just got a hero deck that I'm always trying to add to, which is why I said the masked heroes were on my list initially. But I dislike the new Dark Law artwork, so I was just like, I'm just gonna go get another Dark Law because I'm gonna run 2 in the deck now. Then I'll just have 1 in English, one in Japanese. Both ultra, both okay with me. Nothing too flashy. Put these guys down. And then, since we're on the hero tip, we got the full arts, Shining Flare, and Flare. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, kind of screwed myself over because these guys are effect monsters whose effects I'm not familiar with yet. See, I'd really dedicate myself if I play heroes to remembering what the fuck these guys do. Because I haven't like been on Master Duel to like really like commit shit to memory. And then, so we're in all these card shops, and we're passing like Pokemon cards and shit like that. And my girl, I passed by this card, and my girl passes by it, and then the second time she passes by it, she's like, "Oh, it really is cute. I think I want it." And that's this guy, a little ferret, little hollow ferret. Look at him, looking all cute and whatnot. Because we have ferrets, so we got to get some ferret cards. And then there's also a speed duel or a what's it called, a rush duel Yu-Gi-Oh monster that is a ferret. That kind of looks like one of our boys anyway. They each look like one of our boys. The problem is their color patterns just match only one of them. So we kind of have to do some mental gymnastics to say who is who. But it's cool because when we were in Osaka, we found a claw machine. And won these 2 guys. Look at these fucking cutie pies. We each won one back to back in the claw machines. So, now we have cool representations of our boys, and we can like hook them to our like bags or whatever. Now I'm kind of out of order here. But like since we're on like the card things and like the really like weird collectible things, I always like make it a habit to like go to B-side label and get a bunch of stickers. So like you see, you got some One Piece there, got some Pokemon, you got Lelouch at the front, got my man Hanya over here, got me, Goldie, got Whitebeard. Now there's gonna be a running theme here. Got a bunch of different shit. So like I put these stickers on my got motherfucking Red with Pikachu. How you gonna beat that? So the tradition here is that I always get a bunch of stickers and I add them to my speakers here. I have some Yamaha HS8s, and I was like, well, let me give them a theme. And so one of them is like a Pokemon / fighting game theme, or like fighting each other theme. So like on one of these speakers, I have Ryu on one side, and then I have like Lemillion on the other side. I initially had Rock Lee on one speaker versus the what's it called, the bear from Jujutsu Kaisen, the one that that UG trains with to like first get a handle of on cursed energy. But then I switched it over to Rock Lee versus Mashal. And then on this other speaker, I have Kobeni with Bond, just reacting to the cuteness of Bond from Spy Family. So like, there's a bunch of shit going on. Right, I always like try to get a bunch of shit to add to it. And I still haven't placed like there's like a third of my stickers left on this shelf right here. Still haven't put them on because I was like, let me get more, and then I'll have an idea on like how to place all of them. That's the cope. So that's how we got there. Oh yeah, and then I got like some Yu-Gi-Oh card deck sleeves for all the new cards. But I'm probably gonna switch. I'm probably gonna use these sleeves for my GOAT format deck, which eventually I will do a deck profile for. I guess that's only after like me and my neighbor play enough for me to be confident to like pull up to locals or some shit like that. Okay, yeah, and now we have some. Now we get into the fun stuff, right? That's the me stuff. We're gonna get into some games. So this a lot of this, with the exception of this, was purchased in Osaka in a place called Super Potato, which retro game shop, has a lot of old, like, legit retro shit. Has like the Japan only game consoles that like were failures and like, you know, you never hear of unless you're like really into collecting shit, right? I didn't get any of that shit. I am a simple bastard. You show me an N64, you show me Diddy Kong Racing, I'm in. But not this time. So the last time I went over there, I got the first two Legend of Zeldas. Not the first two, but like the N64 Legend of Zelda. So you got Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Now, Majora's Mask requires this little guy, right? This little, I forget what the heck it's even called. Memory. Oh, it is a memory. Okay, so it's like a RAM expansion thing that you put into the front of the like, there's like a little square that you could take out in the N64. You replace it with this red thing, and then you can play Majora's Mask. Without it, you cannot play. You don't have the memory to play Majora's Mask. So this time around, I got that thing. Because I forget if it comes with that, but I was like, also just to have this shit separately. Like, what? Why not have this memory thing? Why not have this adapter? And it's only slightly damaged. And, yeah. Some good stuff. And so that was last trip, and then this trip I got that adapter, and I was like, so I'm on the N64 train. I got the Duo last time. I got the two Zeldas, and then so I was in the N64 section. I was gonna get Diddy Kong Racing, and I was like, I'm not gonna ever have space in my suitcase for an entire N64. I'm not gonna make space in my suitcase just to buy an N64, just so I can buy Diddy Kong Racing. It's not gonna happen. I'm going to play that shit on an emulator like a sane person. Also, the only Diddy Kong Racing I had was not in the box. I would have felt way more enticed to get it if it was in the box. It was just spare cartridge. So I'm like looking, and I'm like, oh shit, Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 in the box. Gotta get that. And I grabbed these two, and I'm like, let me see if there's like an open, like not in the box, somewhat smaller, like potentially can fit inside my suitcase. Not going to take too much space inside my suitcase because this is only like less than halfway through the trip. So I do have space in my suitcase for it. But I'm like, let me be for real on like what I'm actually trying to fill my suitcase with. So I have these two Pokemon Stadiums in my hand. And I go to the N64 section. I notice there's a guy there. And like from behind him, like he looks very recognizable. Like his haircut, recognizable. He's kind of tall. And he's like taking video of the thing, and he's like talking. So I'm like, oh, he's probably like an influencer, and whatever. And what the hell is it called? Sorry, I swapped shit over. I'm like, he's probably like some person who's like famous or whatever. Or no, I'm in my head. I'm like, he looks very familiar, like someone I know, but like I'm not piecing it together yet. So I'm like, he's probably an influencer. He's like recording this for like some B-roll for his thing. That's why he's talking. And then like he like 3/4 profiles, and I'm like, holy shit, it's Cleo Thomas from It's Zero from Holes. And I'm like, is it for real? So I go over to the N64 section where he just like walked away from, so I can see the N64s. And I look to my left and I actually see his full face, and I'm like, holy shit. So I look over and I'm like, yo, let's shake your hand real quick. Tell him he's cool, whatnot. And then I later find out that he's out there for the premiere of like the Mario Galaxy movie, which is I'm like, oh shit, he took time to come to Super Potato. I wonder if it's his first time. I'm just like, I find all this out afterwards, but like while I'm shaking his hand, I'm just like, yo, you're a cool dude. Thanks for being cool. Also, enjoy your stay, basically, as if I'm a fucking local. But at that point, I turn around, I see the N64s, and I'm like, damn, there's no way I'm trying to dictate. I'm trying to clear out this much space in my suitcase. I'm trying to remove this much space from my suitcase just to fit Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 and an N64 that I'm probably only going to play once. I'm probably going to feel like I shouldn't even play it because it's already used and I want to keep it as good of a condition as I possibly can. So I switch up and I go, well, I had this in the back of my mind, but I didn't really commit to it. At that point, after having that spiritual experience with Zero from Holes, I decide I'm going to go for the Kingdom Hearts. So I get the Kingdom Hearts Final Mix 1 and 2. I picked up the first one in Akihabara because I was like, fuck it. I've never had the Final Mix. You know, fuck it. Why not, you know? So I pick up Final Mix 2 there, actually. Sorry, I picked up Final Mix 2 in Akihabara before we got to Osaka. And then Osaka, I picked up Final Mix 1. I was like, all right, now I got to find the third one. I got to find Chain of Memories on the Game Boy Advance, which is also at Super Potato. Super Potato's the shit. So that was there. Still in the box. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, this is open box, obviously. But I'm like, all right, now I got the motherfucking trilogy, bro. Like, you're not going to tell me nothing. I got 3 of my favorite games of all time. I got my favorite game of all time, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. Chain of Memories on the OG GBA. And then, yeah, I got Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix, which is like, the cover for Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix was like, this was like, Sora in this pose was my MySpace profile. Like, I don't know if it was my profile picture or if it was my, like the main background for my profile for like all of my MySpace. So, as you can see, Kingdom Hearts was a huge part of my childhood. And then Kingdom Hearts 2 dropped and I was like, holy fuck, this is the best game of all time. And it wasn't until like a couple years ago that I realized this is probably my favorite game of all time. If not something newer, definitely got to be Kingdom Hearts. So, that was at Super Potato. And then I would later come back to a spot in Tokyo called Suguya. I forget the exact name of it, but went to the spot, went to the basement. They had old games. And so I picked up Wind Waker. And the reason I picked up Wind Waker is not because I'm a fan, because I've never played it. So it's going to be the next Zelda game that we play on the stream is Wind Waker. Because I got to get it out of the way. It's a lot of people's favorite Zelda game. For good reason, I'm pretty sure. But I felt bad because so I was like, dude, again, none of the stuff that I've gotten was necessarily on the list of things that I sought out to get. It was like, shit, this looks amazing. I'm going to go get it. So I got a little chibi Hero of Time link from, a Majora's Mask link. So I'll show you the back so you can kind of see like what the gimmicks are. You can put his little shield on, his sword on. You can put Majora's Mask on. You can have him with Tattle or Tail. I forget what the fuck, which fairy. It's Navi, actually. Sorry. I forget Tattle and Tail are part of the Skull Kids thing. So he's with Navi. He can hold the other masks. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. I was like, yeah, I definitely got to get this. And like his sword has like a sheath too. It's like, and then he also comes with a potion. So yeah, gotta get this guy. And right next to him was exact like the same kind of figure, right? Same chibi figure, but Wind Waker Link. So I was like, I haven't played Wind Waker. I feel mad fake if I get this, even though it makes the most sense to get like if I'm gonna get this style of Zelda figurines, it makes the most sense to also get Wind Waker. But I was like, let me not do it. And then that'll just be the only Zelda figure that I get, right? Because I was also looking for Tears of the Kingdom Link. So that's the reason why I got Wind Waker on the GameCube, because I was like, I have to at least pay some type of homage to it. And then I go to another store in Osaka, and I see Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom era Link. I'm pretty sure this is Breath of the Wild Link, actually. Yeah, this is Breath of the Wild Link. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get another one of these. I know I'm tight on space at this point. I'm not going to do it. And then I see this. This motherfucker comes with a horse and the axe that you get to chop down the tree in the beginning. And he has like the traveler's bow and the ancient arrow and the traveler's shield. Comes with a Sheikah slate. Oh, there's another thing in here that I think is missing. Oh no, these are just the parts that. Okay, forget it. That nothing's missing here. So I'm like, yeah, I gotta get this. It's Breath of the Wild Link, and I'm also like not gonna get the big ass fuck off like the $200 Breath of the Wild figurine. I'm getting this easy to fuck with cheap shit. Totally fine with it. Now part of the main reason why I purchased this was because of the horse, right? But there was another reason that I was like, okay, if I'm going to commit to the bit, I have to commit to the bit. I don't know, where'd you go? Sorry, I did not prepare this reveal very well. I stacked up everything in front of me, which kind of fucked up my pathway here. So I have to commit to the bit. Let me see if this is here. No, they're not here. I can only see the horse. Oh, the horse can hold the shield on it? That's so cute. All right. So right next to this link are... Jesus Christ. Not just the Master Sword with a stand. Not just the Hylian Shield with another stand. But every single weapon, every special weapon, the Royal Guards claim, the Royal Claymore, you got the Trident, you got the fucking Great Eagle Bow, the Scimitar, the Seven, and even the Zora Sword. The Zora Sword. I got every fucking weapon in Breath of the Wild that you could possibly get, from like, you know, this set or whatever, right? So I was like, yo, can I just get this in a set? Just give me all of the weapons that come with it. They're cheap as shit, and give me the link that comes there. So the only thing that I didn't get at that time was the shield. I found the shield at a different shop. But what I could not find was there's another version of the Master Sword that is like with its sheath. Could not find that. So I'm going to have to find it online to really complete the set. But now I have all of my Zelda shit, all of my Kingdom Hearts shit, and I now have to reorganize this top shelf to include all of it when I take it out the box, because I have a Zelda corner. You can see the Sheikah slate up there, and then in like there's like a little I have like a little dedication to like the shrines that I always visit. I'm gonna have to like reorganize that section, but basically half of this top shelf here is just gonna be Zelda shit now. And oh no, my steak is too juicy, I know. But that's the way that's gonna play out at this point. So that's that. It's all the Zelda shit. Aside from that, like there's other like cute shit. So there's all these gachapon machines, and I was like, I went there with the specific intention of getting the there's a gachapon machine that has a Casio ring. Like the Casio, the signature digital Casio watch, but in a ring form. Spent the entire time looking for that. Every time I went to a gacha, like I went to every gacha store that I possibly could. Checked every machine that I passed by. Could not find this ring. But I did find this, which is a little button that has the sound of this train line. I forget, it's like the Chiyoda train line or something like that. But you press it. So this plays every time you arrive at the stop on that line, right? Pretty cute stuff. I did not seek to get like the other 3 that were in that machine. I was just kind of like, it's cool. It'd be cool to have like a sound of Japan inside my room. But there's also stores that are like in, I think, Mandarake. There's a bunch of other stores that like they have in like, let's say you really wanted this and you could not find it. There's probably a store in Japan that like just sells this by itself. You're gonna be upcharged probably, but if you really want it, you know, let's say you were going for like a set, like a full set of like, you know, a bunch of, there's like, I'll put it on screen. So many random things you can get in these gacha machines that the last random thing that I saw was you can build a server rack. There's a niche for everyone. Like all types of people, every kind of demographic is in a gacha store just looking for the thing that calls out to them. Now, I was looking for the things that I already knew called out to me. I wasn't looking to be called out to. I was like looking for a specific thing the entire time. So maybe I was going into it with the wrong mindset. But then I found this guy. I was like, all right, it seems right. Seems about right. My girl ended up spending $1,000, not $1,000. She ended up spending a few dollars on she's a Love and Deep Space girly, so she found a nice little gacha machine for herself. But there are stores that will just sell like the Lucy's of, you know, each thing. You don't have to like mystery box it. You just go in there and get your thing. So I passed a PlayStation one and I was like, I'm not gonna get it, but it looks kind of cool. We found the entire pack. Like, got the PS1 up here. So you just saw the PS2, but you also have like every PlayStation, like PS1, and it comes with a controller, and then it comes with on the back stickers for the disc. So the disc and then the sticker to put on the disc, and then you also have the game cover. So I don't know if you can really see it like that. I forget what game that is. Yeah, that's is a better display. So this is like the sticker you can put. They also have the game box in here and the disc. So you can put like, you know, Super Monkey Meatball. And then the fucking PS2 opens up. Like each of these fucking mini consoles actually opens up the disc tray. And it comes with a little controller. And even a memory card. That's crazy. So game box, functional, not functional, but like openable game console, like gives you the full experience. So I'm gonna have to find somewhere to put these things because I didn't have a plan for them. But of all the things that I did have a plan for, one of the things that I sought out and I got was a replacement for my Zoro figure, because I have a really cool one-on-one of him hitting the 3-sword style with the bandana on, but I dropped him because he's like wrapped around with my Pothos up here. So his swords are fucked. So I was like, let me go get a replacement, and then boom, found Wano Zoro hitting the one shot on Scratchman Apu. I'm pretty sure that's the pose. I'm like, all right, this seems more sturdy. This seems more secure. I could fuck with this. And as you can see by this tag here, I won it fair and square. I didn't take too many tries, luckily. I think it was like 5 or 6. But like after the first 3, I was like, all right, I'm getting this motherfucker. But I have to go back and get changed, so I had my girl like hold down the machine so that no one came through and swiped it. But yeah, this is the only win I'm pretty sure that I got. Actually, aside from the ferrets, the only win that I got. But I wasn't really trying for anything after that because I was like, this is a pretty big box. Again, I have to understand how much space I have in my suitcases, right? Because we went out there with one empty big ass suitcase, and then packed to the nines a really small carry-on suitcase with all of our clothes, and then like a little personal item suitcase or bag, just in case, you know, you need like a couple of days in case they lose your fucking suitcase or whatever. Basically, went out there with an empty suitcase and vacuum sealed bags to make sure that when we did pack up, we had all the space we possibly could. I was like, all right, this is a big bulky box. I'm not really getting anything else like this big. Even though the Zelda ones are bigger, they're at least flatter. So it's a little bit easier to make space with them. But then right next to this guy was Sanji. And I was like, all right, let me go try for the Sanji. I tried for the Sanji a couple of times. And I was like, it's okay. It's Sanji. Who gives a fuck? My main thing on this shelf anyway that I got, let me see if I show you guys. But like, so I'm building out this wall up here of like One Piece figurines. And I got the Going Merry up there, which is a model kit that I did. I have to repaint it because the stickers suck. Above it, I got like the Wanted posters. And below it, obviously, I have more Wanted posters that are like in a collage. So the idea here is like to kind of replicate the wall that you see at what's that One Piece special with the Marines perspective? I forget what the fuck it's called. I made a video about it though. So I was like, all right, let me make these Wanted posters. Then the other one is like to replicate the ultimate chapter, right? Where everyone's bounties are, or big news chapter, sorry, where everyone's bounties are like for the first time displayed. Like you got all the Yonko bounties and stuff. So I was out there also looking for the Big Mom Wanted poster. You can find Wanted posters easily online, but like these specific ones that are this exact size and have double-sided tape that comes with it on the back, so you can just stick them anywhere. I had a hard time finding. And by hard time, I mean I did not find it. I'm literally just looking for one Big Mom, so I can, again, recreate the scene where they slap all the Yonkos and then they slap Roger and Whitebeard's posters on top of everything. It's like when they're like talking about the return of the Rocks Pirates, right? The Big Mom and Kaido linking up and shit like that. Sorry, I've fucked up my camera. So yeah, looking for all that, didn't find it. Found Zoro, one Zoro. Now I feel like my honor has been restored. I've made up for the fact that I've broken my first Zoro figure, or my only Zoro figure. And then, oh shit, I forgot. This is a fucking puzzle. This is a puzzle that is the size of, like, you know those trophy cards that you get for like winning regionals in Yu-Gi-Oh? So I've always wanted one of those, but I've never competed in Yu-Gi-Oh. So how the fuck was I gonna win that, right? So I still don't know where the hell I'm putting this thing. Like, it's gonna be a huge, pretty huge fucking poster. It's like yay wide, and like from here to here, to, like this could cover up more than half of my doors. So we're gonna have to see about that. Oh shit, yeah. So it was between this and Muhammad. No, it was between this and like Red Eyes, and like I think there were two more puzzles there, but I was like, bro, Blue Eyes is iconic, and it's holographic too. Like the puzzle itself is holographic. So when I do complete and frame this motherfucker, it's gonna look like I have a trophy card, which I'm not trying to like lie about, but I've always wanted one, so it's a cool way to have one, right? And then kind of like the last of the haul here, sort of last of the haul. So there's a store called Tamashii Nations in Akihabara. So I got a yeah, it is Mazinger or Mazinger. I forget, but I'm not a fan of the series. I'm more so just like, damn, I have a mech shelf, which I'm not going to turn my camera again. Yeah. I have a mech shelf that's on the other side here. I'll put it in like the video if I make a short about this. And it's like my model kit shelf, right? I have all my Gundams here, all my Zoids, some Legos here. And I was like, well, these aren't going to be model kits, but like this is a very classic mech. I know about this. I might not have watched the series, but I at least know about it. So let me pay some respect, put the money down, get this guy. Pretty good quality. Like you can see, and this is like store limited edition too. So that's how you get me with limited. I thought I was bleeding real quick. So I was like, all right, Tamashii Nations, pretty fire. Like the quality of their figurines off rip is fire, but then you get to the metal builds, which this is. Motherfucking Eva figure. Insane. Oh, I wish you could see it, but like, it's the Eva 1, but like it has the dock behind it, like the green dock, and like there's even like the tube that connects it to the dock. Pretty fire, and like you can see in the store, like there's like a test display or whatever that you can just rub and feel like the quality of the metal that is like put into these figurines. Like every figurine there shines like a motherfucker because they are made with the top tier quality. And the reason why I got that, even though I haven't finished Eva, is because, well, now it's motivation to finish it, but two, because the model kits that I've seen for the Eva aren't necessarily like good looking to me. Like I'm a real grade motherfucker, so yeah, if it's not a Zoid like a Blade Liger or Liger Zero or a real grade, then I probably don't fucking want it, right? So sorry, I thought I had a different figure out there. I was like, what the hell? So I got Wing Gundam and Shining Gundam that I gotta build, and then I got like 2 Ligers that I gotta build here too, and a Shadow Wolf because that's a inside joke for me. But yeah, the Eva that I've seen online, haven't really felt like any enticed to like buy it. But that shit, like it was also on display, so you can see exactly how it looks. It was fire. And I felt the same way for the Lancelot that I saw there, and the I forget the other name, the Collins or Collins mech in Code Geass. But those are on display. But those are Japan online only. You cannot buy those inside the store. You have to be Japanese basically to get them online and shipped to your house, which I can't do. So those are out of the question. Well, I was like, I'm walking out of here with something, and I don't just want to get the Mazinger or the Mazinger. Still don't know how it's pronounced. I'll watch like an episode of this shit just so I can at least say I did it. Because that was not a metal build. It's like still a really good quality figurine. But I was like, nah, I gotta walk out here with one of these metal builds because these things look fucking phenomenal. And I was like, all right, that's a slim box, still looking good, still a pretty big figurine. We out of here. And I initially went into that store by myself. Just off my own volition, just to see what the fuck it was about. Because it was a big old, it's a really attractive looking store if you just pull up to Akihabara. I didn't see anything I wanted the first time, and then I went back the second time because I was looking for something for my cousin. My cousin knew of a Marvel vs. Capcom version of Spider-Man, a figurine that was dropping there, exclusive to that store. So I went looking at that. Went looking for that for him to take it back home. Couldn't find it, unfortunately. Shout out to Paco. But unfortunately, it's not I don't know why the fuck I'm calling him by his character name, by his Instagram name. Shout out to Andy. But sorry, I could not find that for you, but I found some shit for me. Yeah, so I got the Ava one. That shit is that was like my last purchase, I'm pretty sure. Like the second to last purchase online. That was like that was the second to last day of purchasing, really. It was another day of purchasing. And that day included, this is the only like clothing / jewelry thing I'll probably show on stream ever. But you know, since it's the Nana 25th anniversary, the Nana 25th anniversary. Oh, fuck me. I got a couple of things from Vivienne Westwood. Nothing too big, nothing crazy flashy, nothing Mr. Bucks will be. But you know, regular old, you know, heart ring. Vivienne Westwood logo with the heart ring. I got this like, again, not planning for this. It's just like, oh shit, let me go in there, let me see what they got that is affordable for me and my price range. And then I saw this guy and I was like, oh shit, this is a nice little. I'm looking to not always cover my fingers in rings whenever I like do an outfit to like hit like the threshold for what I feel like feels like my hand is filled out. So I was like, that's loud. Instead of me wearing like this soul gem ring that I got, I'll do that. And then when I got this, because I saw this the very first time I've ever gone into a Vivienne Westwood shop, I was like, damn, that looks good. I don't know how to wear gold, but this shit looks fire. I'll find a way to do it. And I always like gold and green, like the gold and emerald look. So I was like, all right, I saw this and I was like, oh, this is a lot cheaper than what I thought it would be. So I'll do this. Because I also would like a gold watch to like, again, I'm looking for ways to minimize being loud when it comes to putting outfits together, right? I don't want to have to like be in 6 chains and shit like that. Not to like act like I have money, but more so like to feel like an outfit is full and is complete. So I got this guy because I'm like, all right, now I can wear gold. I don't have to like wear a bunch of gold rings to like, you know, make a gold outfit work. I can kind of keep it cool, low key, but also boom, nice gold and emerald fucking touch. I love gold and green, same way I love like gold and brown. It's like, this is cool. You can't really see it, but it has like the imprint, the Vivienne Westwood logo imprinted on it. So it's not that, like, by emerald, I mean like the color. I don't believe it's actually emerald, like the gem inside. But I was like, all right, cool. Now I got a gold watch. The only watch I ever had was like a regular old Casio watch, which kind of does the trick for most of the part. But in terms of like doing the trick for like, all right, I only need to have one thing on this hand. I don't have to have an accent ring to make it look like it's actually a full outfit. I could just have a single thing on this entire arm of mine, and it works. It brings enough attention to that limb. It brings enough attention to, like, you know, the rest of the fit, and it'll make a lot of fits work, right? I can kind of keep it low key, just have a watch on, and then I'll feel like I'm a little more secure with what my outfit is. I've said that like 5 different ways now, because actually, it's a good segue into the last thing that I got while I was there. So I always visit this ring shop in Harajuku, the same way I always visit this other place called like not Yellow Submarine, Yellow House, which is like this punk metal shop, which is like run by this old crazy lady who, she's awesome. She like always drags you around the store when you come in, asking like what your style is and just trying to like show you all the shit that she's made. And I've gotten 2 sweaters from her. I got a cardigan from her. I'm not a cardigan guy. Got a cardigan from her. And then I had like a red and black striped sweater. Not necessarily going for a matte or Nirvana cosplay, but now I've made it work, right? I've gotten 2 sweaters off her that I did not initially want, but have been really great for me. But I went back to Harajuku to another ring shop that, if you ever see me wearing like a really purple, like a silver ring that has purple like soul gem looking thing on it, I got it from there. I went there because I went to an event and I was dancing so hard that my ring flew off, because I used to wear this ring on my pinky. So it flew off. It was a slightly smaller ring than this, but it's the same exact kind of ring. It's a crown ring. It is an essential part of my Roger cosplay at this point. Now, there were 2 there the last time I went to Japan. One that kind of fit on my pinky. It was a little loose, but kind of fit on the pinky. And another one that was good for the pointer finger. That's the same exact ring. No one has purchased this ring. So I went there. Luckily, there was 1 crown ring left, and it was the same exact one that I did not purchase last time when I bought the smaller one. So now, this crown ring stays on my pointer finger. It is the only finger that it fits on properly. So I have to reorganize my ring setup. But the reason why it matters so much for me to replace that ring is because when I'm doing the Roger cosplay, I specifically got these 2 rings at this shop because this one is an anchor, right? It's upside down, but you can see it's an anchor. And then the other one is a crown ring. So like Pirate King, like it just does the story for me. And then obviously what you just saw there is the fucking Kraken in the middle. I got that at the Ren Fair. I got like a big old fuck off skull here, and it's like a nice gold with black on it, and then just a regular ring to like fill it out. And now I have like a little thumb ring. It's a wedding band. It's probably not full. I'm only wearing this for stream, but I still have to find like either a thumb ring or 2 pinky rings now at this point to really fill out this thing. This is part of the whole Roger cosplay. I'm wearing a different chain than I normally would wear, only because now I'm wearing like the matching bracelet for it. But I would normally be like in a different chain for this. But I always try to drip out the hands and the wrists for this Roger cosplay, because I'm like, I have scrawny hands, I have scrawny forearms, I gotta make them look thicker somehow, right? So it was a nice thing to be able to go back there and like replace this ring, because this is like the crown itself being on my finger is like oof, because I'm never wearing the Roger hat. You never see me wearing like the Roger hat in this cosplay because it's too much for me. Even like I was thinking about doing like the red and yellow polka dot bandana that he has underneath the hat. Still not doing it. Still not doing it for myself. I'd rather just let my hair frizz out throughout the day. So I was like, I have to have some type of crown thing going on. Boom. And this is like I got this for Halloween. Last time we went out there, we celebrated Halloween out there. That was the first time I ever wore the Roger cosplay. So I got these two rings, the anchor and the crown, like 2 days before Halloween. We went to Takashita Street and I was like, all right, cool. Found this spot, pulled up. I was like, all right, this is like a good omen. It was like the alchemist. It was like this is the omen that you're looking for to tell you that this is the right choice. So I got these two rings, lost one of them, went back. This is on the list to replace this ring. Luckily, I got that. So yeah, that is the I'm pretty sure that's all of the Japan haul. Yeah. Oh shit! How did I forget? Sorry. So I forgot, bro. So we pulled up in Osaka. Got the motherfucking 101s, bro. You see the sunnies? You see the 1,000 sunnies? Look at the fucking drip. I still haven't worn these. But like these are the house slippers now. Look at these shits, bro. Shits come down. You know what I'm saying? Boom that bob. It's ready to fucking sail. And I think that's pretty much the last of it. Oh shit, yeah, no, so I went to Tower Records and I'm not gonna pull them out because they're a little stuffed underneath now. But like I don't know, we went to Mino. I got like some old prints, you know, like some classic Japanese like shit. You know, I'll show you those. I'm not gonna pull out the vinyl though. But I always make it like a habit to like bless myself up out there, visit as many shrines as I possibly can. I only visited like 2 or 3 this time, but I got the Goshuin from them. So I got the Goshuin from not Amano Hashidate, but from Mino. Was it Mino? No, yeah, it was. Sorry, I got Goshuin from Amano Hashidate and Mino because I forgot to bring my book. Luckily, they both did paper Goshuin, which is just like a stamp from the temple to show like you bring a book to like basically. It's like trying to think of like when you're a kid in school and like they tell you to fucking trace a leaf on a book so you can like I don't know document nature or whatever. It's like I forget the exact practice is supposed to be for that. But I kind of do it just kind of document like hey, I've been to this temple, you know, God blessed up here, yada yada yada. More spiritual things. So went to Mino, got some prints, some classic prints here. It's got things that stood out to me. So it's like a port. This is overlooking the city at night. Nice little waterfall. And then that's it for me, right? Yeah, the other thing is something my girl got for her coworker. So that's that. And then the other thing is I went to Tower Records. I always try to make it happen to go to Usagi and Tower Records ever since the second trip. I was not able to go to Usagi, but I went to a fire-ass ramen spot on my last day. But went to Tower Records and I got 3 records. So I got a Klambone vinyl, which has my favorite song. Probably my favorite song of like the last couple years. Top 3, top 5 all time, probably favorite song. It's like I listen to this when I'm down. I listen to it when I'm up. Doesn't matter. And so I got that, and then I got the a vinyl from a band called Mass of the Fermenting Dregs. They're a Japanese band. They fuck. They're amazing. I think it's their first vinyl that they put on print. And then I got the Ichiko Aoba vinyl, which I think is I think it's called Tower. No, it's called something with a P. Let me see. Yes, Luminescent Creatures. That's what it is. So I got that on vinyl. And Yeah, man. Aside from that, I got more to speak on once. I'll be right back. I gotta pee. Okay. I think I'm actually starting to feel sick. I don't know if it's because I opened the window and kind of fucked myself over here, but I think I might actually be getting sick. I don't think my sore throat is just because of talking for 2 hours straight, but we'll see. All right, I'm just gonna go through the rest of this like Japan section, see how I feel after, give myself a quick little 5-minute break, get out of the getup, and we'll see where we're at. Because to go through 5 chapters of One Piece and then 2 chapters of JJK, I might have set myself up for failure here. I also didn't expect to be on the Japan part for 2 hours, so that's another thing. Let's see, what else do we have here? Yeah, I got Yu-Gi-Oh stuff covered. Talked about Zelda. Oh yeah, there's where's this at? Should be right here. There it is. No. I hope I didn't fucking break you. Oh my god, maybe I could just do the stream without the jacket. Hey, let me just put the jacket on the fucking chair. I don't have to wear it. I mean, it's not really visible, but it's okay. I forgot. I went to Don Quixote. I got a couple of things. So I got this Master Ball puzzle. It's a puzzle. I had to throw out the box because I needed to make space. So I have to look up kind of like how the fuck this is a puzzle, but like you can turn it. So, and I didn't just break it right now, and that's why you can turn it. But like, apparently this is a puzzle. But it's like a cool little silver Master Ball, bro. Look at this shit. Got Don Quixote for like fucking $10 probably. And then at that same Don Quixote, I got some new headphones. So about a year ago, less than a year ago, I think at this point, almost a year ago actually, my ATs, my Audio Technicas, which I had been like, I used to mix, used to listen to music, they just died forever. I don't know what the fuck happened, but I was like, all right, that's unfortunate. So I didn't want to spend like $200 on some new ATs. So I was like, in Don Quixote, there's like a headphone section. I'm like, all right, or electronic section. On one wall is just straight up headphones. And I'm like, there's ATs here. They're Bluetooth. but they're only Bluetooth. I can't plug them in. The ones that I used to have are studio headphones that like you can plug into your interface, but you can also unplug them, use them as like regular day-to-day headphones. So that's what I liked about them. But I was like, damn, I do need new headphones because the mine that I just like, my wired regular Apple headphones are also just kaput. At least the left area. So I was like, all right, let me take the chance to buy some good headphones, make them wireless, and not come out of pocket $300 for some AirPods. Luckily, they had ATs that are wireless or that are Bluetooth and they're earbuds. So I was like, all right, I'm kind of over earbuds, but like if they're ATs, they got to be great. And they had so many different models. But this model that I got was like, they're great quality, and they're like $60. I'm like, all right, let's try it out. Copped them, used them the next day, and now I use them every day. I've been using them every day since. Obviously because they're my headphones, but also because they're really good fucking quality. Like they have good noise cancellation. You can turn off the noise cancellation. You can still do the tap thing, like where you can change volume and change songs without having to actually go into your phone. So I'm like, they work like iPods. They're way cheaper than iPads or AirPods. Totally fine. So yeah, that was a nice little, again, not on the list, but more so like, all right, let me use the time that I have here. Let me use the money that I got that I can save here, and re-up on a couple of things. So there were some other things that I did have as part of the list. So I had a perfect grade Gundam model kit on the list that I did not get. One, because I did see a perfect grade, but it wasn't the RX. So I was like, I'm not gonna get it. There was a unicorn Gundam, but that was only high grade, and it was like the light up one. But I'm like, I don't want that. I'm here for a perfect grade. But what I almost got instead of the perfect grade was there's a model kit for Sahelanthropus from Metal Gear Solid 5, which is the only Metal Gear Solid game that I've actually played full on through and haven't just watched someone play as a kid. It was the first game that I, as an adult, played by myself and was like, this is fucking amazing. Even though they shit on Kojima, and that was like his last Metal Gear game, and it was like the Fallout, whatever. Still an amazing game. I'm pretty much 100% done with that. I think there was just like 6 or 7 more missions, not on purpose, that I have to do on like the replay to like do them on a different mode. Because I already collected my troops. The only thing I haven't done outside of the single player is like steal a nuke from some other player, right? So, which I probably can't do at this point, right? But like, yeah, pretty much 100% of that game. Love that game. So, model kit for Sahelanthropus. I think I posted on my Instagram story too. So, model kit for Sahelanthropus, I was like, that might come home with me. I'll save it. I'm going to not do this in Osaka right now. I'm going to save my space. When we get back, I'll just go to another store that's like this. I'll find it there. Never fucking found it. But what I also didn't find, that I was like, let me not get it here because it's only like 10 more bucks to get it in the States. But now that I know it exists, I totally want to get it. It was a model kit for a big fuck off Slifer the Sky Dragon, which behind me is my hero deck. On top of that is my goat deck. And then on to the left and the right is our figurines of Elemental Hero Neos and Elemental Hero Flame Wingman. And the idea was to get that one model of Jaden, or one figurine of Jaden, with Wing Karibo, where he has the split eyes and he has the Wing Karibo in front of him. Because they also have like a similar one of Yugi, or Yami Yugi, where he has regular Karibo in front of him. I'm like, damn, it's pretty fire. If I ever get a chance, I gotta do it. I gotta get the Slifer, and then just at some point get the Jaden figure. Which I have to do sooner than later because that thing just goes up in resale price every fucking day, it seems. So I'm like, I got to complete this little corner, my little hero corner. I have to find a place to make a hero corner now because now there's going to be mainly Zelda. I got to put my guy Jade in there, and I got to put fucking Slifer behind him because he's a Slifer Red. But also, it'd be cool to have Slifer in the middle of a Jaden and Yami Yugi duel where, you know, you have Jaden's 2 monsters behind him as aces. And then you have Yugi's 2 aces, and then in the middle of them would be Slifer. So like, I got like a nice little vision for a shelf of just like just like a Yu-Gi-Oh dedicated shelf. Because I'm limited space here, right? I can't necessarily dedicate each shelf to like one series or whatever in terms of manga, right? I have all of Attack on Titan in the omnibus. I have all of Death Note. And then the closest I got to completing any other series, aside from Nana, but that's my girl stuff, and Black Butler, is like yeah, I have all of the Wano arc from One Piece on manga, and the only reason I did that is because that's the arc that I caught up to. That's like I caught up to One Piece when the ultimate chapter dropped. That was the chapter of the week when I caught up, and I was like, holy shit, Wano is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. I can't wait to read. Like, I'm glad that I get to read this. I'm glad that I get to read this weekly now. So, and then from then, I started to, like, you know, do videos and whatnot. But that's pretty much how I caught up. And I was like, all right, cool. This is some fire shit. So, because Wano is the arc that I caught up to One Piece at, Wano is the only arc that I have in manga form. It's like an homage to that. And when the first time I went to Japan, I believe the 99, 98, 99, and 100, or like 99, 100, and 101, those volumes dropped. And it's like, you know how it's like the covers are like split into three? It's like it's a 3-volume long, one cover, one picture type of thing. So when I went to Japan, I made sure to like get all of Wano before that, except for those 3 volumes. And I got the Japanese versions of those volumes, which I can show you here. And I don't know if you can see him back here, but like Oden is right there, right? Which again, shout out to Agenda, not Agenda Peace, but like Agenda in general. Like people shit on Oden now. I guess hindsight or whatever. Like, you know. Yeah. First time I went to Japan, I got these guys out there. I went to the One Piece store in Parco and I got these there. Because at some point, one second, Ryuk is being an asshole. Because at some point, I used to be good with planning my purchases. Now I'm just fucking terrible at it. But yeah, there's some other stuff that I bought, like clothing wise. Like I'm not gonna really put that on stream. I got some good threads. I went out there looking for knee-high boots, and I finally found them, but like they weren't really that good. And they were like a nice there was like some Rick Owens, Doc Martens collab boots that I wanted, and I'd been looking for them all trip, and I finally found them in the store on the very last day, and they only had the display boots size left. They didn't have any other ones, and they were like a whole full size lower than smaller than what I wear. So I tried squeezing into them, couldn't happen. I was like, I'm not gonna chance it. I'm not gonna just get these boots just to get them, even though like at the cost of my actual feet. I'm not gonna do it. So, which sucks because I just bought an outfit that would go perfectly with them. Like I'd been holding off on getting like a really drapey all black outfit because I was like, I got to get the boots first. But now I'm like, I can get some knee highs anywhere. I can get some good docs anywhere and then figure this shit out. Okay, I am not feeling well. So I'm very sorry for not being able to do the mega stream, all 3 of these things, but I think I'm going to actually have to cut it here because yeah, I think the talking is making me weaker and weaker. I'm starting to like feel the cold in my chest. And I don't necessarily think this is a product of keeping the window up. I think the window is just exacerbating it. But there was one of like the last 2 nights in Japan. When I went to go get the Tamashii Nations stuff, it was really windy that day, and it was already kind of cold, and I wasn't wearing a jacket. So like, you know, sometimes you get immunocompromised real quick, and now you're more susceptible to getting sick. I feel like I had compromised myself with that night, and so just being around anyone, even though like people aren't just like, well, people in Japan are just coughing without covering their mouths. That's a whole thing. But I was like, all right, if I'm gonna get sick, this is gonna be the night that I get sick. You good there? Okay. If I'm gonna get sick, this is gonna be the night that I get sick. So, or like that I obtain sickness, and then in a couple of days, I'm gonna start to feel it. And I would have thought that would be the flight itself, right? Get on the flight, cesspool of germs and whatnot. Get off the flight. A couple of days later, you feel like shit. And I'm also lacking of sleep, right? Because the jet lag and whatnot, which I thought I fixed. I thought I might have fixed last night, but Maybe I'm just I have a pot stirring of shit that is like just waiting to get me sick, because I usually get sick when it gets nice out. I usually get through all of winter perfectly fine, no close calls. And what usually gets me is like I go outside to take out the trash on a day that was nice but got colder at night, and so I go out there with no shirt, and then that first gust of wind hits, I feel like I inhale that cold air, and then done. I get sick, and then while I'm sick, while I'm feverish, it's beautiful outside. Like I get sick the second it gets really like to 70s. So I'm not gonna chance it. I'm gonna pop open the ginger ale, pop open the miso, and then if I have not gotten sick tomorrow, if I'm not waking up with the shivers tomorrow, then I'll just get back on stream tomorrow. We'll do both of the things tomorrow instead. But as right now, I'm gonna keep it safe and just kind of cut it here, because not because we're already at 2 hours. I would be fine doing like a 5-hour stream of just all this stuff talking shit, but yeah, I think I might be exacerbating what might be like a cold at this point. So I'm very sorry, very sorry, very sorry. But I'll be back soon. Yeah, like I said, if I don't wake up sick tomorrow, I'll just hop on stream tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow. Because I do want to get these. I do want to catch up, bro. I have not watched. What is it called? I have not watched the new One Piece episode. I have not read any of the One Piece stuff. Any of the last 5 chapters that have come out. I'm off of One Piece right now, because I was like, I don't want to read these until I get back on stream. And I thought I was going to be able to stream before I left. Was not able to fix that. And then, and then fucking Jujutsu Kaisen. I have not read the last 2 chapters. So I'm hoping that I do not wake up sick tomorrow, so I can just stream this shit and finally get it out the way. Because I'm lacking. I don't know what the fuck is happening right now. Anywhere. In any of the 2 manga that I'm reading right now. And I kind of got to fix that. So, I'm going to cut it here, but I'm going to be back tomorrow, so long as I don't wake up sick. So, yeah. I'll see y'all soon. I will get back in costume, so we can keep the continuity there. But yeah, I'll see y'all soon. Very sorry. But maybe I'll take a little beat, a little nap, and then start to edit this video. But anyway, see y'all soon. Thank you for watching. My name has been